back up. Let's save and close. And let's see if that started it. But other than that, life is good. Let's see if we got there. Still waiting.
So funny trying to explain the potholes to Michael, too. He's like, really? Another one?
Yeah. Yeah.
They're never ending. I was explaining a new one to him today, and he was like, doesn't make any sense.
Well, when you think about it, you know, part of the problem is that, well, that's the wrong channel. Part of the problem is that we're pushing the envelope. You know, we're trying to do great new stuff. Oh, there it is. We're on that channel. Okay, well, let's get an embed code and put that right embed code in there. We're always trying to do something better than what we're doing. At least I am, and I think you are too. You know, whether it's a new product or a new service or a new idea. I mean, you guys are talking about things that don't even have anything to do with PTZ cameras, I'd say at least 25% of the time. But it has to do with live streaming, and I love the fact that you want to be a center for that kind of information. And you guys have done a great job of doing that. But that's just me.
No, the latest pitfall that we came into, I won't even take the time to explain it. It was a strange one, but they're never ending.
Okay, let's see, what do we got here? That's not right. We're going to do that one. And let's see what it looks like there. Can't really tell. Let's try.
Just one more thing real quick.
Watch live. There we go. Okay. All right. Very good. Very good. Very good. I think we've got everything working now. So let's mute that before we get in trouble. If you don't see the video, please refresh. How about that? And if I could spell, I'd be dangerous. All right. There we go. Cool. Cool, 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 cool. Paul, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, there he is. Do you want to get the chat up where you can see it?
Oh, good idea. Yes,
it is easternshorebroadcasting.com/Tom-S-chat. And that'll get you just the chat. Or you can pop it out on the Eastern Shore Broadcasting watch page, I guess would be just as easy. And maybe not even as complicated.
Perfect. Okay, I got it in front of me.
All right. All right. Very good, very good, very good. So we're going to talk about church giveaway.
Yes.
We're going to talk about fashion shows. And I want to talk about that in the conceptual sense, not about the actual event, but in the whole concept of going out into the community, because I love what you guys are doing. I just love it. I love it. And then I want you to give us information that nobody else in the world has ever heard about what PTZ Optics is coming up with, the new PTZ Optics 8K camera.
You want to get me fired.
I think that was a guffaw, as they say. That says
Put your hands in the air.
That's right. That's right. Okay, got it. All right. Well, then let's just wing it. You're a fake it till you make it guy. I recognize that. So let's go. Shall we go it? Let's do it. All right. Anything else we need to do before we get started? Or we'll just make it up as we go along?
Oh, I think we'll be fine. I have a list of 10 things that went wrong in our fashion show, but that's just my own notes.
Oh, okay. Well, we don't need to go there. You know, you guys did a whole show about that. Yeah, well, we can touch on that, but I'm not worried about that. All right, so here we go. So we got to cut Paul's mic. We have a button for that, and we have to start the show. We have a button for that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm Tom Sinclair. This is Streaming Idiots. I'm so glad you're here today. It's going to be a really great show. We've got a super guest, Paul Richards with PTZ Optics, Stream Geeks, Huddle Cam, Haverford Systems, whichever company you want to attribute him to. He is here, and he is going to be with us in just a second. But first, before we get there, I want to give a shout out to me. Because next week, you can join me in the Vmix 101 class on Tuesday at noon. It runs for 6 weeks. And it is everything you wanted to know about Vmix in a condensed format. It's a live group. So you're joining us on Zoom. Everybody's got a camera. Everybody's got a mic. I'll make a presentation with video. We'll have questions and answers. We'll discuss it. We'll move on to another topic. And I think there are like 28 topics in all. It's a lot of info in a little bit of time. So if you said, I know the things that I know in Vmix, but I don't know all the things I don't know, this is the class for you. It's $129. You can get it on our website at easternshorebroadcasting.com. Right down there, go to the store and look up the Vmix 101 class. It's starting next Tuesday. And we do have, you know how they say, we still have a few seats left. We got a bunch of seats left. So come on in. You'll have a good time. And you'll make some friends that the folks that took the class last time, they're still friends. They're still exchanging information. And that's one of the unpublished benefits of the class is the camaraderie, the collegiality that you develop with other folks that are really kind of doing the same kind of thing, and you're not alone anymore. So that's great. That's the Vmix 101 class. The other thing that is noteworthy, is that this show is a giant infomercial for easternshorebroadcasting.com because we represent all these other cool companies back there. We represent PTZ Optics, of course, but we represent Vmix. We're their #1 reseller in the U.S. We design and build PCs for folks that want to use Vmix on their projects. Just got off the phone with somebody a few minutes ago. And they're like, well, we're talking TriCaster, but boy, doesn't Vmix look appealing? Yeah, it does. We also represent Magewell and X-Keys, and we just brought online Sportscast, which is a great way, if you're in the sporting world, to bring in live scoreboard information into your live stream. Talking about the clock, the 20-second clock, down and distance, all that information that's in the scoring at the venue, you can now bring it into your Vmix production and populate your scorebug without having to start and stop and do all that kind of thing. So if you're interested in that, let us know. Sportscast is what it's called, and there are all sorts of cool things that you can do with that. Okay, I can breathe again. All right, so let's go to our guest. But before we do, I got to give you a few words about our guest. Yes, I got to give you a few words about our guest. I met Paul Richards by telephone about 5 years ago, and after 30 minutes of hearing this guy talk like a mile a minute. I'm from the South, and down here in the South, we move a little more slowly. We just, we don't get to the point right away. We kind of beat around the bush, and we want to know how you are. We want to know about your mom and where your family came from and all that kind of stuff. Well, after talking to Paul Richards for 30 minutes, it was just like, business, PTZ Optics, great stuff, cameras, and sure enough, we got involved, and it was a great business decision for us to get involved with PTZ Optics because they have got absolutely great products at the price. That's the key thing. Is it the best camera in the whole world? No, the best camera in the whole world is going to cost you a ton of money. But is it a great match for for price versus performance, absolutely, absolutely. It's the sweet spot for price and performance if you're looking for a camera. Now, I think that a PTZ Optics PTZ cam is ideal for a studio environment, especially a self-produced show like this, because I can pick up my controller right here and I can make all those fine adjustments. I can move the camera a little bit to the right. I can zoom it in a little bit. And if it was not a remote control camera, if it wasn't a mechanical camera like this, it would take me 20 minutes to get the shot right, to make an adjustment, sit down, come back. You know the deal. So if you're thinking about a camera for your studio, you want to consider that. I got off subject on that, but I got excited. The other thing that I'll mention before we bring Paul in is that we've got it right here. Yes, indeed. We just took this bad boy in on trade. Yes, we did. This is a 20X, PTZ Optics 20X that I just yesterday updated the firmware on, and it is sweet as it can be. It's still got the tape on the front that covers the lights. The customer that I traded, we traded in for a 12X, and they wanted to do something fancy with that. So the 20X was just not the right tool for the job. It's got some of the manufacturer's warranty left on it, and you can have it today if you will send me an email. It's $1,000 shipped in the United States. It's got SDI, it's got HDMI outputs, it's got, of course, the Ethernet port. It does not do PoE. That's the shortcoming with it. So you have to power it with the power supply, but we've got all the accessories. And if you're thinking about, golly, I sure would like to have a camera like this for your church, this is a bargain. This is a bargain. So, all right. So that is a pre-owned, gently used. There is one teeny little scratch on it, but that's it. Okay, so there we go. So let's get Paul on the show. First of all, we got to turn his audio on, and then let's bring him in. Paul, welcome to
Hi,
Streaming
Tom.
Idiots. I'm so glad to have you here today.
It's always so much fun. Thanks.
Well, you know,
it's always so much fun to come on your show.
You know why you feel so comfortable here? He's
Why is
like,
that,
okay, I'm not sure I want to answer that question. It's just that common idiot thing, you know. It's like being at home, you know. It's comfortable. You know that no mistake is too great. You know, no screw up is not forgiven. Yeah, because we're doing it all. We're doing it all. I want to give a big shout out to all the folks that are watching us in the chat. If you're saying chat, what chat? Well, you've got to go to easternshorebroadcasting.com and click Watch Live tab, and you can get in on the chat. And there are a bunch of folks there, and you'll have it fun. I think, Paul, you're using Tess's account in chat today. Is that right?
Yeah. She left her computer here, which was like
Ooh.
perfect. She must have known. She's going to get a root canal right now.
Should not ever leave your computer where Paul can get to it. No. Okay, so we're using Vmix Call for the show today. You're sending me 1080p video. Thank you very much. It looks like you're in the next room. It's an amazing picture. What camera are you using?
Actually, that same camera you just showed, I'm using the PTZ Optics 20X SCI camera.
You're using a 20X in a studio. Wow. I didn't realize it would do that well at that close a distance. I may take this one off sale and keep it. Holy cow. Now, when you guys went out for the fashion show a couple of weeks ago, what cameras did you take for that?
Yeah, so we went out and did a fashion show live stream, and it's funny, Tom, because you said there's no mistakes can be made here on the Streaming Idiots show. It's funny, we go out for our Stream Geeks. We put our Stream Geeks hat on, and it puts a lot of the pressure off because we're not getting paid. We're doing this for free, more as a case study style thing, and we get to learn a lot and bring that back to the community about what we learned. But we brought 3 of these cameras, the exact camera, 20X SDI cameras.
Aha. Okay. And so let's see. I think we've got a picture of, you set some of them up on a truss that was facing right down the runway, and you brought the truss with you. And you did those cameras wirelessly, as I recall, and brought them into a Sling Studio setup. Very cool. Very cool. And what was the, what, just share with us, since we talked about it, what was the road bump, the speed bump that you bumped into there that you didn't like the most? What was the biggest disappointment of that thing? And then tell me the biggest success. We'll match those two together.
Okay. Yeah. So there were a lot of, we've learned a lot and we did a lot of great things, but some of the difficulties, the internet died on us completely. And thank goodness we had a live view solo, or we would not have been streaming that event. Thank goodness for that. So we had the live view solo with us. So that's probably the biggest fear, I think, when you're doing a lot of live streams, is that they always say, oh yeah, we have internet. Oh yeah, it's fine. And then the internet, we try to use the hardwired Ethernet. We're getting some weird Windows security issue. Like maybe the network they have set up, all of the computers that connect to that network have to log in through a Windows password. And so we just couldn't get internet through that. They said, sure, use the Wi-Fi, which worked until 200 other people wanted to use it as well with their smartphones. There was no password on the Wi-Fi, and so that was unreliable. Thank goodness we had the live view solo with us, and that saved the day.
So success story and biggest speed bump at the same time. Good job. So you planned ahead. I mean, you know that everything doesn't always go according to plan. You know that all the promises that people make to you, they can't always keep. A lot of them are just out of their control. Yeah, I get it. All right. So you guys have done the fashion show, you've done the bar scene, you've done the what was the store? I want to say knickknacks, but
a boutique, a fashion boutique,
right.
Furniture store.
And you did the Chamber of Commerce. You have done a lot in your community with that stuff. What inspired you to do that? Where did that come from? This crazy idea.
Well, I will say that one of the best things about the live streaming industry is that there's a lot of new ground getting broken all the time. And you know this, Tom, as well as, and probably your whole audience. I mean, just yesterday, a paintball league is putting in cameras all over the place and live streaming paintball tournaments. I mean, it's just endless. And we decided that in order to really help, people understand what can be done, we have to go out into our local community and try to hit on like the really big case studies that probably have roadblocks, like a small business. Like how many small businesses could really use this technology in such a great way, but aren't sure how to set it up, government, industry. So we've just been going out and trying to hit on the really large niches that I don't think get enough attention. I think that in the broadcast industry, everyone's serving the television studios and the big QVCs, but the local chambers of commerce and the local small business and the bar and the restaurant or the small conference, there's so many more of those going on in the country. Every fashion shows. It's fashion season right now. It's October, right? It's fall fashion. There's thousands of fashion shows going on that are not being live streamed, probably because they just don't know how.
Well, they don't know how, but then there's the whole thing. Not only do I not know how, but I also don't have any of the equipment that would be needed because I don't even know what that would be. Yeah, I get it. And I love it. I mean, you guys have inspired me so greatly when you guys did the show at the boutique. That's what caused me to open this studio. And it's all your fault. That's right, Paul Richards.
Congratulations. I actually haven't seen all of the behind the scenes yet.
It's not done yet. I mean, is a studio ever really done? Yeah, I get that. But it's not even to the point of having paid clients in here. I had 2 folks in here yesterday. And, it was like, okay, well, we got to find some chairs so you can sit down. And, please excuse this. This is a work in progress, and that's a work in progress. And we're testing out this and trying to get it set so that we can have a studio where we want to be able to bring people in. I like the idea of going out, and you guys have been really good about going out. But there's that comfort level for me of bringing people into a studio that I don't have to go set up. I'm controlling the internet, I'm controlling the lighting, I'm controlling the heating and the air, I'm controlling all of the equipment. It's all my stuff. All you need to do is show up with clothes on, with pants on. That's remember y'all remember Paul was the one not wearing pants on the last show that we did. Yeah, he did have on shorts though. In case you were wondering about that, he doesn't have long trousers on. He had shorts. So I want to venture out into the community, but I'm a little gun shy about that. Do you have any words of encouragement for me on venturing out into the community like that?
Well, I think there's a huge opportunity to pick your best opportunities to work with people. So, what we started to do is, it's I don't necessarily like a business model of going out and being an event streamer myself, to be honest. But I know a lot of our customers are, and a lot of people that we work with do that.
Right.
For the same reason, it's not as comfortable to be like leaving your studio and going out and doing this. But in today's day and age, with the lack of knowledge on how to do all of this and the lack of equipment needed, especially in local areas, I would imagine you're probably one of the main event streamers in Fairhope, Alabama, Tom. I couldn't imagine you have too much competition. But you get to kind of pick your battles. You get to, if there's something that's going on in your town, I guarantee if you ask them to live stream it, you're going to be their best option. And that's the way it is here in Westchester, Pennsylvania, where we are. Generally, we'll see, that's kind of a cool project. Let's see if they want us to live stream it. And let's see if it's going to be fun. Let's see if it fits our schedule. Let's see if it's like the fashion show for me. I was like, this is perfect. I was like, beautiful models,
right?
High class, trendy, but it had really bad lighting. I'll tell you that. And they played copywritten music the whole time, so it wasn't as good as we thought it was going to be.
Right.
But it sounded perfect. So it sounded perfect at the beginning. But we kind of pick and choose.
Well, and you guys didn't want to intrude on the event. I understand that. It can be intrusive to bring in a lot of studio lighting and to, commandeer all their music and not let them do what they were expecting to do. Instead, use things that, that YouTube and Facebook would approve of. I get that. You don't want to make them change everything. And it's not like they came to you and begged you. I mean, if somebody begs you, then they're willing to make concessions to get you out there. I get that. All right, so I get that, but I love what you guys are doing. Keep doing it. What's the next thing on the horizon for going out and doing a community live stream? Have you got some thoughts about sports or maybe some fall community activities? Oktoberfest maybe?
Well, sports, definitely. We want to do more sports. We also want to do more community, religious house of worship style outreach programs. But one of the things that I learned at the fashion show is that where you're going to be really successful helping someone live stream is somewhere where the tipping scales of you can't fit enough people at the event, and that the live stream actually becomes more important. Like I'm thinking in New York City, if there was a fashion show and only 100 people could fit in there, but thousands and thousands wanted to actually watch it online.
Right.
That's what I think. If you really want to be successful, you really want to see the value of it. Now and Tom, I know you helped donate. We did raise a lot of money for a great foundation. So you can, even with a small audience, raise money for, your nonprofit or different organizations. But where you're really going to find success is where you literally can't fit any more people into this theater or space. And live streaming is really the only way to grow the audience, sell virtual tickets, and do all of the things that make live streaming able to monetize it.
I get it. I struggle with that too. We're getting a little bit of glitch in your video. If you have easy access to it and can drop back to 720, that might make it a little easier.
Okay.
We had a couple of freezes
I'll do
there.
that.
So.
All right, I'll drop it down.
Yeah, there we go. And it's almost indistinguishable, the difference. For snobs like me, I can tell, but most folks wouldn't notice. All right, so let's change gears a little bit and let's talk about this crazy church giveaway thing. I mean, you guys are giving away the farm on this thing. You're giving away like 100 cameras and all this other cool gear to some very fortunate church. Now, the church has got to be 500 members or less, 501 is probably okay, but 600 is the idea is that larger churches have the wherewithal to afford this. It's the smaller churches that don't, and so you're trying to find a small church that can. I mean, it's going to be. I guess you're going to draw a name out of the hat. It's not like you're going to go out and interview them, but you're asking churches to come in and basically apply for this. Let's see, we've got a little ticker we can roll across here. Yeah, where folks can go get more information. It's ptzoptics.com/church-makeover, and they can enter. And there are lots of different ways to enter. I mean, you can send a video, you can like this and like that and like that, and you can get all that information at the church makeover page. And you and I talked about this, holy cow, back in maybe March about doing this. And
right after NAB, I think.
Oh, was it that late? Okay, so April or May, and not only that, but it's like, okay, so you've got all this great gear, and all these churches that want to participate. You guys must be just overwhelmed with folks that want to get on the ball. How many entries do you have? Do you know?
Well, it's reached over. It's over 1,000. I know that.
Oh my goodness.
And we're really grateful to be working with Teleam, New Tech, LiveView, and X-Keys, so 5 manufacturers total. And so we've actually been able to work with Church Production Magazine, Religious Technology News, and Technologies for Worship. And I do believe that we're still ramping up, and every week we're bringing more information from knowledge. And we're going to have you on the show, Tom. I'd love to get your perspective. It's really just it's interesting, but it's also fun. And there's so much darkness in the world. Social media. Here we are streaming to Facebook and YouTube, but sometimes social media can be a dark place as well for people. So we want to try to bring some light to the world and bring something where we can really have a case study and something where we're really helping a church get something that they can hopefully use to spread the message of God in a way that they wouldn't have been able to without a program like this that we all came together and put together.
Awesome. I love it. I apologize. We're here on a big farm in the middle of nowhere, and our internet sometimes comes and goes. So we've got Paul's audio, but his video is frozen a little bit, and that may be the way it is for the rest of the show. We've got the squirrels out there, and they're turning that little treadmill as fast as they can, but sometimes it doesn't always work. Paul, I'm so excited about that, and the other thing that I'm excited about for the 1,000 entries that you've got, but for the 999 that don't win, perhaps their imagination has been piqued enough to say maybe we need to take a long look at it. Maybe we need to try to find some benefactors or cobble together some equipment that's just sitting around, and find a way to put this together because of the net effect. This past Sunday morning, I popped into Facebook as I was getting ready to stream our church services, and I was scrolling through just my Facebook contacts, and it was, church services here in Alabama and in Tennessee and in Texas and in Louisiana, and it was probably too early in the morning for California. They were going to come online later. But it was really amazing to see how many churches were streaming their Sunday morning services. That's not to say that they weren't streaming something else. Midweek, I was talking to Dennis Washington. He was on the show, I guess, 5 weeks ago, talking about what they were doing at the Deerfield Church of Christ up near Birmingham. And it's a Sunday morning service, but there's also a Monday message and a Wednesday message and a Friday message, and a real way to stay in touch with the community and to grow the community, and that's really exciting. So, Paul, do we? I see your video is frozen. Do we still have you on audio?
But I a
little bit.
You're coming through.
Okay.
Wait, I think I got you back. I'm gonna drop
right,
down to low.
I tell you what. Why don't you disconnect the call and call right back? See if we can't clear this up. Sometimes that'll clear that up. So if you're interested, come to ptzoptics.com/church-makeover, and you can sign your church up. And there are lots of different ways to entry. And one of the other benefits is that I'm going to be working with the church that wins. So we'll teach you how to use. You don't have to know how to operate all this stuff, and you're not going to learn it all the first time you do it, and you're going to make mistakes. But that's what churches are all about. There he is. All right, we got green on Paul now. We were getting reds and oranges a few minutes ago. There we go, and he's giving us a nice 720 feed with only 50 milliseconds of delay. So that's cool. All right, good. Thank you for doing that. All right, so you got the church thing, church giveaway, you got the fashion show. What else? And you've got tell me about the podcasting studio. You just started the podcasting studio,
Sure.
and that's where you're live streaming from today, right?
Yep. Let's see if I can get a better. Here we are in the podcasting studio. I think that, and this is an interesting thing for you potentially as well, Tom, with your studio that you're building over there. I think podcasting might be a great entry point for people interested in getting into live streaming. I think a lot of people don't want to get on camera right away. And as we built this studio where we are here, the idea was sort of to let people walk in, take a look at a real live studio, take a look at a podcasting studio, and start getting their hands on technology. So that's just a look at where I am here. But podcasting has been really fun. We basically, and this is something interesting. I've always wanted to talk to you about this, Tom, is that our show...
Well, it's just you and me talking.
Cut it down to 20 minutes.
It's just you and me. Pay no attention to the thousands that are watching across the world.
Well, we restructured our show completely so that it's a 20-minute show and then a 20-minute podcast post show. And I read a couple magazines because there's no one really knows exactly what the best setup is and the best structure. But it seems to be that people on YouTube don't want to watch more than 20 minutes in general. And generally, they want to get whatever the information is as quick as possible. So they might click a 3-minute or a 10-minute video as opposed to a 60-minute video, just in general. That's what
I've noticed
people do. And so we've been trying to cut it to be less than 20, so like 19 would be ideal, and then go right to a post show. And the post show is also recorded as a podcast. So within 1 hour, we've got an on-demand video that's that ideal size of less than 20 minutes. We still keep a live show on Facebook and Twitch so that we still maintain live interactivity throughout the entire hour. And then we've got a podcast that we've recorded in that time as well that can be now distributed to iTunes, Stitcher Radio, and all the podcasting outlets. So within 1 hour, we've really got like 5 or 6 different pieces of content. And
awesome.
I think that the whole podcasting portion of it has really been changing the way that we think about creating content, because you put the headphones on, it's a conversation as opposed to like a broadcast a little. It's just a different way of kind of telling the story.
So what kind of reaction are you getting from folks on that? You getting good numbers?
Well, we are getting, I think that we are getting good numbers. We get about 100 downloads, which is a lot less than views on Facebook and YouTube. But I think that people that are listening in the car or driving, they're just trying to expand the knowledge that they have on a specific topic in an informal way. And for you, Tom, I don't know if you caught this, but I think churches should really start podcasting. And the reason why is they've already got a great audio system. Why not record all of that audio and potentially repackage it into a podcast that provides additional context and reflection, and potentially asks for, donations or, involvement in a community project. So it gives the church a way to produce content kind of around the week, as opposed to just focusing on that Sunday stream. You produce the Sunday stream, that's great, but maybe on Wednesday, you take some of the things that you really thought were the best part of your sermon, and you reflect on them and maybe play back pieces. And now you're producing a piece of content on a Wednesday, that hump day throughout the week. And everyone, I don't know if you've ever listened to a podcast or subscribed to a podcast, but every single person in your church is going to get a notification on their phone that says, hey, the podcast is out now, and take a listen. And the thing about podcasts that are so great is that it's not computer centric as much. So so you're not looking at a screen. You're driving maybe and listening to it on the radio. Or I like to do grocery shopping for my family. I'll go out, do the grocery shopping, put some headphones in, get my bacon and my stuff, and then I'm getting educated for a half hour on a specific topic.
Awesome. I love it. So at some point you guys are going to do a show about how you do these shows.
Yes, and we do pepper it in because for those people that watch every week. But yeah, we are definitely going to be doing a more behind the scenes, higher level picture of how it all is put together. But we've put a lot of time into it because we want to get the most out of our day. And this 1 hour, from 2 to 3 o'clock every day, that's when we produce a lot of content.
Oh, that's great. And then you can repurpose it. I like that whole idea. of repurposing. Yep. So you got the podcasting, you got the church stuff, you've got the community stuff. What's next?
Well,
here's your chance. There are millions watching.
There are a lot of new projects, and there's one project that I think I could tell you about.
Okay. Just you and me
I
now.
don't think I'll get in trouble. For this one. We've got a lot of new products on there. We've got a really great product roadmap. I feel very confident about our product roadmap for 2019. There's a whole lineup of things that are coming out, and NAB is going to be great. And generally, we don't make announcements until things are shipping. We announced our Gen 3 joystick.
Unlike
and it's shipping.
other companies that might announce something 19 months in advance.
Who knows how long? So generally, because what's the point? Products that are selling very well right now, and people are very happy with them. If we were to announce something that's coming in 6 to 9 months, that could just stall a lot of progress. So we don't want to do that. But we do have a lot of great new stuff. But one thing actually that's coming on the software side of things is an automation software that Matt Davis is designing. I hope I don't get in trouble for talking about it.
It's too late. You may as well spill the beans on it now.
So I won't tell you the name of it because I don't want you to go look up the website that's half done. But I think I can tell you a little bit about what Matt Davis is planning. And I think, people who are using Vmix and other IP-based related systems are going to be really happy about this. What he's designed, and it is ready and it is done, we're just kind of putting a bow tie on it, and it's going to be free with every single PTZ Optics camera. It's a IP management system that will allow you to send IP commands to any IP device or software, so Vmix included. It supports IP, hex commands, and HTTP commands, and it also supports voice control. So what it allows you to do is to automate, let's say 10 tasks. Let's say one button, you want 8 PTZ Optics cameras to change to a specific scene, you want Vmix to start recording, and you want your Philips Hue lights to turn on, or any IP device. You want your Alexa to set a reminder. It's totally open-ended, but he's created a new program. It's going to be out in the next couple of weeks. I don't want to ruin his thunder, but he's created a program, and then he's also created an online community, which is his kind of pet project. Maybe I shouldn't be telling everyone about it, but it's coming out soon. It's going to be free with every PTZ Optics camera, and it's mainly about this IP world. There's a big hole in the IP world. Everyone's trying to fill in. Newtek's filling in the IP video portion of it, and there's this and there's that, and he's working on the control side of things, and I think it's going to be really interesting, and I think that's going to be fun to give every single one of our customers it for free. And if you're not a customer, you have to pay for it. But I don't know how much I should say. I might get in trouble now. But we have some really cool stuff on the software, because what we want to do is we want to make the customer experience as a PTZ Optics customer to be able to give you more and continually kind of not only add value, but sometimes to add more value, we want to actually add like software. And that's kind of something that's coming out really soon. We have a huge, great 2019 roadmap that's going to include 4K. I know everyone's asking about that. More NDI products, even more economical models. all kinds of things that are coming out. But the software stuff is going to be really fun too, and it's going to be quite interesting.
Ooh, all right. I can read between the lines. I can fill in the blanks on that. I like that. So we've got a 4K PTZ Optics camera that'll be here by NAB. We've got, you don't have to agree or disagree. That's okay. It's all right. And we've got a full NDI camera that will come out by summer of 2019. Just everybody watch his expression as I say that. And you could read and see if I'm striking a nerve here. And then we've got a miniature 4K NDI camera that will come out that's going to be like as big as this. It'll be a little teeny PTZ, but it'll have a 40x optical zoom on it, and it'll be available for $9.99. There's the price point right there. You heard it here first. Paul's like, are they coming to take me away if I said too much? Yeah.
Now I'm in trouble.
Oh, golly. Gee. Well, Paul, your secret is safe with me. Oh, boy. I cannot tell the truth, can I? I can't. All right. Well, let's turn aside from that. I did just want to commend you outside of technology, but I'm a dad and I'm a granddad now, and I just wanted to commend you on from what I can see on the little glimmers in Facebook. You're just an awesome dad, and well, those kids are going to be so fortunate to grow up with somebody like you that loves life so much and is doing so many different kinds of things, and they don't even know it yet, but they're already being inspired to do great things, and so just well done on that one. That's keep doing it. I know that's just your nature. You can't help it. It from the first conversation that I had with you over the phone, I knew this is one of these whacked out kind of guys that is just going to blow the lid off of everything. And he may create a little bit of a mess in the process, but progress is always messy. Moving things forward, pushing the envelope is always messy, and things are going to get broken, and some of them are going to get fixed and some of them aren't. But the things that don't get fixed probably needed to get broken and pushed out of the way anyway. I get all that. And so this is just my really weird way of encouraging you to keep going the direction you're going. Don't let the naysayers, slow you down. There are always going to be people that are naysayers, and just keep pushing, keep pressing. Yep. You're an inspiration,
well,
not only to your kids, but to a lot of us out there in the internet world. Yep.
Sometimes I was just thinking, you're in the position where you're a grandfather now, and I was just thinking, putting myself in your shoes, what it's going to be like to see my son grow up and actually learn from him. Wouldn't that be interesting? And I'm sure you've learned lessons from your son.
Oh yeah. Oh golly, yes. Yeah, and see, I was having a conversation with some guys yesterday. Your kids are going to grow up not knowing a time where this kind of technology ever existed. It will always be, it has always been such, and so it will be second nature to them. They won't think anything about it. The school system that we live here has 30,000 kids involved in it, and each one of those kids is carrying a laptop. And all the teachers are adopting that full bore. And so any kid that's coming through the system now, that's going to be his standard. That's going to be his expectation. And he's also going to be consuming video at a rate that is probably 100 times greater than what his parents consumed it at. And, his parents are going to be your age, and you're consuming a ton of video. They're going to consume even more. And so video is going to be that much more important. And for folks that are in business or that have a passion that they want to share with the world, or are in a position like a church or a civic group that wants to get their message to the whole world, doing video, and not just any video, but really good video, is going to be really, really key for the future. Good content. Yep. And with good tools. Yep. Yeah, Jan says they won't be able to comprehend a time with no internet. Well, if they live if they live in Fairhope, Alabama, they can always comprehend a time with no internet. Because we get that more often than we should. Well, Paul, I don't want to keep you. You've been great to be on the show today. Can you hang around just a second, take a few questions in the post show?
Sure.
Okay. All right, folks. Well, we're going to wrap this up. Thanks for tuning in today. If you're tuning in live, stick around. If you're watching us on YouTube or Facebook, we hope that you will subscribe to our YouTube channel. That would be a good thing to do. And you're like, well, Facebook, I don't see your show on Facebook. Well, that's probably because you're not a member of our Streaming Idiots group. Just do the Facebook search on Streaming Idiots and join the group. We'd love to have you. Don't forget to give us your email address or you won't get in. So, Paul's going to stick around. We're going to be back in just a second with that. Thanks so much for tuning in. We will see you next week on Streaming Idiots. Now that was fun. And as they say, we be done. And we'll go right back to that shot. Yay. All right, Paul, so are you in trouble? Have you already gotten a bunch of texts? Like, why did you say that? Oh, my gosh. Is Matt creeping on your Facebook wanting to know what's going on?
Oh, he's never happy with me, but I have to, me and Matt are like the yin and yang. I want to get the word out. He wants it to be perfect. But it's really fun because, over the past 5 years since we've been working together, Tom, we've been, your business has grown quite a lot. Our business has grown quite a lot. We have new people working for us doing different things that we never had. Software engineers, developers, app developers, product managers. So we're going to be able to grow. The software side of things is really new. And we're just about to really get into the software world in a very unique, different way that it's going to be. And the cool thing about it is that because of our business model already self-sustaining, for the first couple of years, the software model is going to be, let's give our customers everything that we produce pretty much for free.
Yeah.
And so it's going to be an interesting world to be in because it's going to be interesting. I could probably answer some questions about it, but I feel like just a couple more weeks and all we're going to be talking about is this new software that is free to all of our customers. It's not a replacement for Vmix or anything like that. It's an automation control software. So
right. It's an assistance. Well, I like that
supplementary
idea. I like that idea. Yeah, Matt already told me all about it, so I was surprised that.
Okay, so you know about it. Okay.
Yeah. Matt already told me about it. Yeah. Right.
Did he give it to you yet? Do you have it?
See, you can get Paul to say anything if you tell him Matt already told you about it. It's just... Yeah, he did send me a download, but I lost it. Can you go ahead and send me another one?
Yeah, I can send you one. Just don't tell anyone about it.
Oh, bless his heart. Bless his heart. He's so innocent. He's so innocent. Gee whiz. All right, so this is great. This is so cool. This is so cool. I had a great conversation with Sean in your tech support department this morning. Delightful young man and very helpful. And if anybody's got a question about their PTZ Optics cam, something's not doing what they think it should be doing, or they want to know more about it, I would highly recommend opening a support ticket or just picking up the phone and calling them and talking with them. I think Paul. No, and it's something I'm doing wrong because I tried it on 2 different cameras and didn't work on either camera. So it's me. It's operator error. And that's probably 99% of the calls that they have. That's 99% of the support calls that I have. It's not that something's broken. It's that somebody can't figure out how to fix what they have done, and what they didn't work. And now it's not just enough to go do what they wanted to do. They have to undo what they did. So, yeah, I get that. But I am really excited about what I want to do, and we'll tell folks just so we're not talking around the subject, is I want to put a PTZ Optics 20x zoom camera in a room that will be used for board meetings. And these board meetings, under the Sunshine Law, I think have to be recorded or live streamed or both. But we want it to be foolproof, idiot-proof. So the concept is that we're going to take that 20x, we're going to plug a microphone into it, probably a shotgun mic so that we've got a good long-distance coverage on the audio. We'll have to supply phantom power because the camera doesn't supply phantom power, so that we have enough volume there. And we're going to put all of that on a electrical outlet that'll be controlled by a light switch. And so when you turn the switch on, it turns on the camera, it turns on the phantom power for the mic, and when you turn on the camera is set up to stream, so it'll start streaming immediately, so it becomes idiot-proof. You turn it on, it starts streaming, and when you're to a point in the board meeting where you don't live stream anymore, you turn it off, and when you're ready, you turn it back on.
Gosh.
And it makes an automatic archive remotely, and it's on the Facebook page or the YouTube page or whatever. And that is going to be a stupid, simple solution to a lot of people's problems. I can remember when you first came out and talked about streaming from the camera, I was like, that Paul Richards guy, that is so... I am never going to use a feature like that. Why, as a Vmix guy, would I want to stream directly from a camera? There is no benefit at all. But I have somebody came to me with a problem. And what was going to be the best way to solve the problem that was pretty much idiot-proof? Didn't require batteries, didn't require somebody to do something, somebody to turn on the soundboard so that a particular output got audio in it. Now we haven't put it in yet, but I think it's going to be pretty darn idiot-proof, and I think it's going to be a good model for a lot of communities on how to fix these problems that they need to fix. And it's going to cost under $2,000 installed. Yeah.
I didn't realize this because I asked Matt Davis you asked me about it, I said, is there any way to start and stop the RTMSP or RTMP stream? And it doesn't. When you reboot the camera, it just streams to the URL that you put into the camera.
Yeah.
So I was wondering, well, how are they going to stop the stream then? Well, if you turn off the power, that'll do it.
Yep. And then all of that data is stored in the camera so far as what the MRL is. So the next time you turn the camera on, it restarts the stream.
Yeah. It would.
Now that's the theory, and that's the theory that I'm working with on these guys, and that's why I'm that's why I'm trying to learn how to stream directly from my camera, even though it's contrary to my nature, because it solves a problem. So we'll see. Yep. And we're also pitching the same school system on school studios for their schools. They have I think 32 different schools. And they want to put in studios in every school. And I'm thinking, you heard me, well, maybe you didn't hear me in the pre-show. I'm using my PTZ Optics 12X G2 camera right here as a studio cam. And I think it's the best thing in the world as a studio camera. As a self-produced show, I can use my remote and I can make all the adjustments to my camera. But if I've got two or three of these in a studio, I don't have to park cameramen behind them. I just get Matt's new IP Gen 3 controller over there, plug it into the same network as the camera, and pow, I've got something for a student to do, and they don't even have to be in the same room. All they need is a monitor that shows the three cameras, and pow, away they go, and they can control the cameras by preset. They can control it with the joystick, which is smooth as silk, by the way. Very impressed. I haven't gotten back to Matt on that yet. Yeah, it's sitting right over here. I've been playing with it. He sent me one and said, tell me what you want. So I have to write up a little report for him, I guess, to make it official. But I may not be able to send it back. I may have to put it into this school, so we'll just see. But I'll pay for it.
That was one of those products where that was a big leap with what he did just with firmware. And I know one of the things he's working on right now is everyone that got a Gen 2 model of the IP joystick, we do want to get them all upgraded to Gen 3, which is just a huge upgrade.
Ken is in the chat
the
right now. He
functionality.
can't wait. Yeah.
He's waiting. I know. I know there's a lot of people waiting. The thing is with it is that it rechanges the button layout. So he has spare buttons that he can pop onto it. I probably shouldn't even be talking about this, but he's trying to figure out the best way to get the new buttons to everybody, so they can just pop off the buttons, put the new ones on, new firmware, figure out the best way. He did a pretty good job with the NDI firmware update process. That was a huge headache because a lot of people it was kind of difficult. So we're trying to make it as smoother learning from that. And it's funny, Tom, I said we don't announce any products until they're available, but that was one where we did have egg on our face. So it's not like we're the only ones who haven't announced something that takes a long time to deliver on.
Well, but from a marketing standpoint, every marketer wants to announce something before it's ready because they want to build up the anticipation of it. I mean, look at the geniuses / streaming idiots at Bird Dog Studio. You know, the Bird Dog Studio device was announced 19 months before it finally shipped. And people were just drooling and begging and send it to me. Please, I'll pay anything. I just need it now. And they've done the same thing with the minis. The minis came out. I got my initial shipment of them, sold them immediately, and now I can't get my hands on any more of them. And I've got a pile of orders, pile of POs over here sitting waiting for minis that that I can't get yet. And your cameras are becoming like that too, by the way. Are you
having issues getting them?
I am having issues getting them. Yeah, I'm calling distributors. I'm calling you guys. And now, well, you know, it'll be another week before that shipment comes in. And then a week later, well, it's going to be another 4 or 5 days. And then, well, it might be another week. And I'm thinking, a case of them, a pallet of them, or whatever it is, a container of them comes in and gets shipped off to B&H or shipped off to somebody else. And poor little me is not getting mine. So... Oh, well. Paul's going to say, note to self, make sure Tom gets cameras in the future. There we go. That's all right.
Before I go on the show.
That's right. So he doesn't have anything to complain and bitch about. I like that. Oh, golly. Oh, that's too funny. That's too funny. So I like the software concept. I'm going to be interested to see that. In fact, I haven't tried any of your apps, I'm ashamed to say. By the way, anybody have any questions for Paul? Hold it. I think I see a question up here from Otis. Otis says, and you may have to refer this one, I don't know, Paul, but should I set up a VLAN to manage network traffic to reduce latency with PTZ Optics control over network? I don't understand that question. But okay.
So a VLAN is called as a virtual LAN. So you can take your LAN, your local area network, and segment off a portion of it. I think it even gets its own IP scheme and everything, and it's totally separate, but it lives inside the local area network, but nobody else can touch it except for certain devices that you put on the VLAN. I think that it's recommended. The thing that I think with NDI and IP networking is that the more you know about networking, the better off you're going to be, obviously. And if you know how to set up a VLAN, go for it. NewTek hasn't done, let's be honest, I don't think the best job of providing dummy-proof information or streaming idiot certified information, if you will. Some of the information is very vague, and some of it is like for example, they say something along the lines of, if you've never set up a live streaming network for NDI, maybe you should set up a dedicated network instead. And what that means is, don't put any NDI devices on your network because you don't know what you're doing. So if you know how to set up a VLAN, you know what I mean? That's what they're saying. They're saying, if this is the first live streaming video production network you've ever set up, do a dedicated network. Don't shut down your existing school network. And our show was on that topic today, and these full NDI sources take up a ton of bandwidth. You got to be kidding me with some of these, like who are the customers here? Schools, churches, corporations, small businesses, hospitals. You think they have an extra 300, 500 megabits to spare on their local area network? Like just to throw on there?
I don't know. The school I was talking
Like,
to
is
this
that-
week
is that
said they had a
realistic?
terabit. A
Really?
terabit network, something like that. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so and that is the future. I think people will have. So they have, like, what is that? That's 1,000 gigabits.
1,000 gigabits. Yeah.
Holy moly! Okay,
But
so
if you-
that is what.
but they've
what's coming
got-
down the pipeline.
You figure they've got, what, 600, 700 students? Each one of those is connected to the system.
Yeah.
And they're, they're streaming
in
tons
that-
of video. Golly gee. I walked through the library the other day. Every kid had his laptop or her laptop, and it was open, and something was going on their laptop. And all of that's connected into the Wi-Fi. And, yeah.
Have you ever owned a network switch that's faster than a gigabit?
No.
I never have.
No. But
Even sometimes like a gigabit. I was
gigabit
like,
switches
oh,
are
that's actually
$100. A 10 gig switch is going to be
Yes.
what, 1,200. So there's a huge factor difference there, and it's also a difference between a consumer level item and a professional level item. Yeah, but
Yeah, and I'm not. I don't know much about it.
but within a year, maybe less, there's going to be a 10 gig switch that you and I are going to be able to buy for $200, and will be perfect for our environment.
Yeah,
it'll
no,
just-
it's
and-
true. I
and
was
we'll-
thinking about that. It's got to be.
We'll do exactly what NewTek said, is we're going to set up a network just for video and leave the other network, kind of run in parallel. And every PC that's got 2 Ethernet cards, it's gonna have an advantage. Of course, they're only gigabit, so we'll see.
Well, that was
We
the
will see.
interesting. Thing that
Jan
NewTek
says
did.
terabit network.
I think a
Well,
lot of.
Jan, I only know what they told me. Chris
Yeah,
wants.
that's-
Chris just got here. He wants us to start over. Did he miss anything? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think that was part of NewTek's genius, was making it work on a gigabit network, because
Yes.
I think the other big boys were all saying, no, we're not
Right.
even going to do gigabit. It's got to be 10 gigabit or more. And then NewTek said, well, that puts pretty much everybody out of the picture, because everyone's already bought their networking gear, and 95% of it's gigabit. So.
I think that even though NDI may not do everything they thought it was going to be able to do, I think it still was revolutionary and will continue to be revolutionary. Yep. I use it every day. Every day. In fact, I use it and I don't even remember I'm using it. It's
It's
like electricity.
That was genius.
It was genius.
And they got in at a great time with the existing infrastructure, and when everybody has 10 gigabit or a terabit, if that even exists, by the time all that's out, everyone will know how to use NDI. It'll already be built into everything. Everyone will already know how to use
That's
it, and the transition will be super smooth.
Full disclosure, I may have just made up terabit network, so don't go out and try to buy one.
A quantum leap in streaming idiot
That's
technology.
right. That's right. You heard it here first.
An order of magnitude better than anything you've ever heard of.
Jan says that 10 gigabit gear is already within reach of the home office, so far as cost-wise. That's cool. And Michael says that really, if you're going to do where was his comment there? Yeah. If you're doing NDI seriously, you must be on a managed network. So yeah, that's one of the things I've got to talk with the IT guys at the school, is to see if we can do what we want to do on their existing network without killing it, or whether we just need to set up a separate network.
Well, kudos to you, Tom, because I think that that all this IP stuff is starting to get a little bit of a divide where. I've even talked to some of the broadcast engineers that I work with who are like, I had a good run. I don't feel like getting into all this IP stuff. It seems like, really? I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. I'm not going to name names, but there's some people I work with who are like, no, it's not working the way I thought. I don't know how to do a dedicated network. You know, I don't know what a VLAN is, and I'm ready to like retire pretty much. But it's like a whole new world of like knowledge that nobody needed to know 5 or 10 years ago.
Oh yeah, there wasn't a need for it.
Like,
That's right. Exactly. Exactly. And then there are old people like me that have to say, I think I can do this. I think I can learn a little bit more and have some fun with it. And, you know, might be wrong every now and then, like my 10 gigabit network, my terabit network. But that's okay. That's, you know, people that we love and that love us correct us gently, and those that don't like us correct us not so gently. Either way, we learn. Yep.
And the way I look at it is the more complicated it gets. It keeps on getting more complicated, in my opinion. But the more complicated it gets, the more there's a need for, you know, people who know what they're doing to come in and consult. And, you know, like the more complicated it gets, the more you want to hire someone who you can trust and say, you know, you're going to take off all of this load off my back, and I'm going to do what I do best, and I need someone to help me. And that's good for most businesses.
But this complicated stuff is always sold by saying this is going to make your life easier. It's going to make your life easier. All you have to do is push one button. But you need a 10-year degree in order to know enough to push that one button and know which button to push. Yeah, I get it. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. So you guys are going to be at NAB New York next week or the week after?
Mm-hmm.
And
2 weeks. Actually,
2 weeks?
Funny little story about that. This is an interesting one for you, Tom. I didn't tell you about this. We're building an IRL backpack. Have you heard about that? The IRL?
I caught that on today's show. Yes, indeed.
The in real life backpack. So it's going to be a backpack with a live view solo, a battery, unlimited wireless modems are now available at unlimitedIRL.com. And we can stream unlimited. So we're going to go down to Times Square and just stream. And you know, it has nothing to do with PTZ Optics cameras, really. But I just think it's cool to be able to take a camera and stream in high quality, you know, high bit rate anywhere in the world and just walk around with a live view solo. So we're going to walk all the way into NAB New York, show all the latest gear to everybody. And last year we were using a smartphone. So it's going to be a big quantum leap.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's great. That's great. So y'all are going to be, I tried to look you up yesterday, and you're going to be on the right side of whatever hall it was. And who was it? Somebody notable was near you. I don't remember who it is now. Anyway. So what team are you taking to New York? Is Matt going?
So me, Tess, and Michael are going from a marketing perspective. We're going to be streaming the whole time, recording, meeting with everyone, hanging out, you know, a lot, going out to dinner with people, stuff like that. And then Sean O'Connor and John Reese will be manning the booth, and I'm going to help them with that and help them get all set up. But I kind of want to just have fun with the team and just kind of chat. I enjoy
there's a surprise.
At this point, I enjoy actually going to the show at this point and like seeing what people have, as opposed to I feel like you kind of just ball and chain with those trade show booths sometimes.
Sure.
So for the smaller shows, now I am going to go to WFX, by the way.
Are you?
My wife has approved. She approved that, so I'm excited about that show as well. I think it's just a 2-day show.
Yep.
Maybe 3.
Yep. Wednesday, Thursday.
But okay, good. So yeah, I'm just going to fly in for the day, sleep over, spend both days at the show. Orlando's a fun place to be, especially when it's cold out. So.
Yep, I'll be there.
And it's going to be fun. I'm going to bring the IR backpack. Good, you're going to be there too?
Yep. In fact, I hope to use your booth as a charging station.
Well, you can use my backpack if you want. I'll have a.
Oh, there you go.
50,
and then we've got the
50,000.
We've got the church giveaway on that Thursday. Mm-hmm. Is that still going to happen?
Church giveaway. Oh gosh, yeah. I think it's going to be so much fun, Tom. Maybe you and I you can be my co-host on our IRL stream, but I don't think there's going to be anyone else doing a high quality stream of the whole show. But there's so many churches who would love to see what WFX has to offer them, but can't afford to fly to Orlando.
Yep.
So maybe you and I can team up on that broadcast where we just walk the show floor, talk about the different needs for churches. I think that'd be great.
That'd be great. That'd be great. Yeah, we probably ought to scope it out ahead of time so that we know where we want to go and have a little idea, not get lost. I tend to get lost.
Yeah, maybe we could. It's a smaller show, but maybe Wednesday we can scope it out, and then on Thursday we could do a guided tour.
There you go.
For the online audience.
All right.
Fun.
Cool. I think I'm actually staying within walking distance of the convention center. So,
well,
if the
that's
weather's
smart.
good.
Where are you staying? I haven't gotten my hotels yet.
I don't recall. It's some extended stay kind of place. It was a whole suite deal that was amazingly priced, so we snapped it up. It may turn out to be some back alley hotel, but you never know. And while we're thinking about it, don't forget to mark your calendar for April 9th, 2019, which is Tuesday night at NAB for the Streaming Idiots meetup. April 9th, 2019. You've heard of that meetup, right? You were there last year. You were there. You got
right.
a cozy.
This is the third year, right?
You guys were actually y'all were sponsors. I've got you right here.
Yeah.
Yes, this is the third year. How are we going to top the last 2 years? I have no idea. We'll probably give away a car. Yeah.
A vacation.
Yeah. Well, look, I have kept you far too long. You've been very gracious as a guest on here, as you always are, and I look forward to seeing you next month down in Orlando. But folks can come see Paul and Tess and Michael running around at NAB New York in 2 weeks, and Vmix will be there, and I think X Keys is going to be there.
Yeah, they'll be at the Vmix booth, I think.
Oh, they'll be at the Vmix booth. Okay. All right. Very good. And I know Magewell is going to be there, and U.S. Broadcast Distribution will be there, which includes Yuan and Scarhoy and some of those others. So there's going to be a lot of cool streaming stuff there that you will want to see. And and Bird Dog will be there. Yeah. That'll be good. If you go by the Bird Dog booth and they happen to be giving away minis, get one for me, and I'll remember you. All right. Paul, thank you so much. It was great to have you.
My pleasure, Tom.
And we're going to close out the stream now, folks. We'll let it run out, and we will see you next week.